Okay, I thought I had more time. I thought I could, ease into this subject. I was going to talk about parties and play and dating, all of the fun stuff. And then, my plan was to, gradually introduce the human rights stuff. But nope, the world is a nightmare. It is already time to talk about child abuse. Don't worry, I will get back to the fun stuff soon. But we really can't ignore this shit. This week, some responsible activists alerted me to a group on Facebook. It is called Family Pro-Spank Workshop. The group is planning to host a, quote, 4 to 5 day workshop event, which will include education on responsible discipline along with different spanking demonstrations. Who the hell wants to spend 4 to 5 days of vacation time to attend a multi-day event devoted to discipline and spanking demonstrations? Me, I do. I want to attend a multi-day event devoted to discipline and spanking demonstrations. I'm a spanking fetishist. I freaking love that kind of thing. 4 to 5 days of talking about discipline and watching spanking sounds... basically that sounds like heaven to me. In fact, it's a pretty decent description of my actual plans for this weekend. But of course, my plans involve consenting adults who choose to engage in risk-aware consensual kink. Let's see how Family Pro-Spank Workshop describes its plans. Quote, "The event will be a 4-day workshop and will include things such as prayer, Bible scriptures, Q&A panels with both parents and children/teens regarding their experiences with spanking, actual discipline demonstrations on each day of the workshop, including real spankings, corner time, timeouts, and confessions and punishments from children." This is fetish shit. These are repressed spanking fetishists getting their jollies on the bodies of real-life kids. I can go on. At one point in the discussion thread, the administrator offers to send the workshop agenda to anyone who requests it. One of the people who requested the agenda has the email address avisittothewoodshed@.com. A visit to the woodshed? Come on, who chooses that as an email address? This is fetishistic behavior. If you're not a spanking fetishist, just take my word for it. I know what I'm talking about here. There are images in this group too. I'm looking right now at a painting of Jesus beating a little boy with a paddle. The little boy is naked from the waist down, and there's a little girl crying behind him. I'm not going to show this image in this video because it's disgusting. So I was able to join this Facebook group. It's a closed group, but they let me in, and I kind of wish they hadn't because it's disgusting, but they did let me in, which is why I know they're planning to use real children in these spanking workshops. In the words of the event organizer, quote, "Pretty much it would be children and teens being spanked in the workshop." So, like I said, he offered to email the workshop agenda to anyone who wanted to learn more. So I asked for a copy because I don't need to sleep at night ever again, I guess. It is incredibly, this agenda is somehow even more loathsome than I had imagined. Here are some highlights from the Spank Day workshop activity agenda. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. on day 1, quote, "Children and teens will bare themselves from the waist down or totally nude, and parents demonstrate how they spank their children, 5 to 10 minutes per child." Later on, the spanking demonstrations are scheduled to continue, with special events for paddling, ages 7 to 14, and belt/strap/other, ages 10 and over. On day 3, several hours are dedicated to, quote, "confessions from children about behavior and, quote, mouth soaping demonstrations, in which adults put soap into children's mouths. Finally, on day 4, there is 2 hours of role-playing, in which, quote, children will bare themselves and demonstrate responsible spanking with each other. Between these kiddie torture sessions, there are organized prayer circles. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose, I guess. This is organized, pre-planned sexual abuse of children. And it's being advertised on Facebook. It's right there. And these monsters are able to be so brazen about it because spanking kids is legal in the United States. The organizers of this event have clearly realized that as long as they wrap child sexual abuse in a veil of old-fashioned discipline, fetishistic predators don't even need to hide the desire to get children naked and beat them on a sexual body part. And the truth is, they're not entirely wrong to think they can get away with this. When I reported this page to Facebook, Facebook said, of course, that it doesn't violate their community standards. I'm in a really complicated space. The vast majority of spanking fetishists are healthy, responsible, intelligent, and ethical, like you and me. Ethical fetishists are my people. You're my tribe. You're who I want to advocate for. You're who I make these videos for. But the reality is, like any other sexual community, there are predators among us. And the people behind groups like Family Pro-Spank Workshop are obviously spanking fetishists who are preying on kids. I do realize that I shouldn't feel the need to apologize for predators in our community for the same reason that gay men don't need to apologize for pedophile priests in the Catholic Church, or, sex-oriented people shouldn't feel the need to apologize for rapists. But the truth is, I do kind of feel like I'm responsible for getting this kind of crap shut down. I certainly can't just ignore it. And that's the complicated space I'm in. I want to advocate for our community. I want to talk about how our consensual adult expressions of sexuality are healthy and natural and beautiful and consensual. But I also want to burn child abuse circle jerks like Family Pro-Spank Workshop to the ground. I just need to find a way to call out these predators and get their clubhouses shut down while still emphasizing the fact that they do not reflect on the ethical majority of us. These assholes who inflict their fetishes on little kids, they reinforce the worst stereotypes about us. But I can't pretend these predators don't exist, because they do exist, and they're able to be so brazen about it because our legal system is broken. Our laws need to change. Our culture needs to change. I'm sitting here making this video because I feel so damn helpless. What else can I do? I went back and forth about whether to disclose the name of the guy who started this Facebook group and emailed me his detailed agenda for getting little kids naked at his 4-day Christian spanking workshop. I really don't want to protect child predators, but I also don't want to get sued. So, I don't know if I made the right choice. I'm doing the best I can. I have reported this group to every child protection organization I can think of, but the truth is, even if groups like Family Pro-Spank Workshop were to get shut down, these cockroaches would just scatter elsewhere. This isn't the first time I've seen people who are obviously repressed fetishists using discipline as an excuse to prey on kids. And I'm sure it won't be the last time. I bet you've seen this shit too. That's why people like us need to keep our eyes open. Sex-oriented people only recognize sex-oriented abuse, but ethical fetishists like you and me are in a unique position to recognize these predators. and get their clubhouses shut down. So if any of you guys have advice, I'm all ears. If there are any lawyers or social workers or children's rights activists out there who know more about how to handle this kind of thing than I do, I've got screenshots of all of this shit. I've got names. I've got their child torture manifesto in my inbox. Like, is there anything I can do? So if there's any way that the experts among you know of to protect these kids, I want to hear from you. My email address is jillian.keenan@gmail.com. Thanks.